Hey, top of the top, afternoon, morning, whatever it is, wherever you are. It's your boy Dewan Guy. This is Cannibus and Coffee, kicking it with my boy Bobby. What's happening? And in light of everything that's going on, I wanted to start this off with a poem by Claude McKay. If we must die. If we must die, let it not be like hogs, hunted and pinned in an inglorious spot, while round us bark mad and hungry dogs, making their mock at our accursed lot. If we must die, oh, let us nobly die, so that our precious blood may not be shed in vain. Then even the monsters we defy shall be constrained to honor us, though dead. O kinsmen, we must meet the common foe. Though far outnumbered, let show us brave, and for their 1,000 blows, deal one death blow. What though before us lies an open grave? Like men, we'll face the murderous, cowardly pack, pressed to the wall, dying, but fighting back. If We Must Die by Claude McKay. Times are changing, but the one thing that hasn't changed is the brutalizing of our police by the Caucasian race. That's been since we came over here off the boats,
Exactly.
and slavery. And on through history from that to once we were so-called free, making the sharecroppers, and the list goes on and on. Today, Bobby and I both were going to talk about some of our personal experience with harassment by the law, just for the color of our skin, if nothing else. And I'm gonna see what we're gonna smoke on this purple too,
Let's
right?
get our minds right, because
Yeah,
this subject is rather touchy.
Yeah.
The poem was very enlightening and touchy as well. And we don't only get harassed by Caucasian officers. You see more and more videos develop where we're just getting harassed by Caucasian people for no reason. So, there's experiences that we've all had being harassed by just a white person. Like, damn, why are you bothering me? And I'm doing absolutely nothing. But we got to speak on this stuff, because I don't think everybody's touching all the subjects so people can understand. No, it's just not police brutality. It's Caucasian brutality. That's what I'm gonna start calling it.
Well, it could be that way. I mean, I think that racism, it don't matter what color you are, you could be racist about some other race.
Right.
I think that in particularly our race has been targeted for so long that the people in certain parts of the country, they got a mentality because of how they came up. Like, you go down in the South, and I ain't talking about Atlanta, I'm talking about the South, down there in Americas and Albany.
Trust me, I know.
The mentality, they still got the mentality as if the Caucasian is better, or, we better not, like that still, that mentality. And there's a lot of people down there that don't know the history to, where we really come from,
Exactly.
and the good history. They don't know about the leaders. They don't know about the black codes. They don't know about their history and what happened to them. But they got personal experiences that have been passed down from family members.
Exactly.
There was a lady down there that I met, went to church when I was living down in Smithville. They locked these kids up in a jail, and they were in like the most horrendous, situation, giving them basically raw meat to eat.
That's crazy.
They just, not really being able to bathe. It was just like a hole that they just threw a bunch of these teenagers in, these teenage girls in, and they just really had no reason to arrest them other than they were protesting, standing up for their rights.
Right.
And
which we get stripped of constantly.
all of it. Bobby, sure, tell us something. Tell us something about you,
Man.
your experience personally.
There are so many different experiences that I've just dealt with being black. I can recall a time there was a very popular store that my mom shopped at, my best friend's mom, all our friends' moms shopped there because they thought this store was kind of out of business now too. It was called Moore's. And you know, they would have sneakers, your classics, your Reebok classics, you know, your all whites. You had to have those back in the days when I was coming up. So me and my friend, we go to the store with his mom, and his mom's going to exchange a pair of brand new shoes he had on. So it's like the first day of school. You know, we both got new clothes on, new tennis shoes, everything. So we're in there looking around, looking at other shoes and shit. And as we're looking at other shoes, we find a pair of shoes that have been replaced. Someone has done the walkout with them, you know, and put their shoes back. So we're laughing. We're like 12, 13 maybe. And we're laughing. So a Caucasian lady walks by, a white lady, younger, not too much older than us, but she was probably about 16, 17. We were about 13, 14. And I just saw her kind of look at us. She never said anything or acknowledged. I said, hey, y'all all right? What's going on? Or anything. She just kind of went straight to her manager. And next thing you know, her manager and another guy are calling us to the back of the store into his office. Now, keep in mind, his mom's in the store, an adult now. You feel what I'm saying? But you take two kids back here, legally obtain them, hold them,
without even
question them. Exactly. Wow. And then when you find out his mom's out there with the receipt, you look crazy.
Wow. I tell you, one time I was, this is right after, you know, I did Baby Boy. You know, I went out and got me a Maximum, had some rims on it. It was decked out, that sound system. It was tricked out. So, you know, this is not long after Baby Boy come out. I'm sitting at a red light. There's some police. So if I'm sitting here, there's some police pulling up, you know, going in this traffic, going this way. They do a left and come and pull next to me. So I'm here, the police is there facing that way, and I'm facing this way. And they don't even turn on their lights, but they just roll down their window and they just start, you know.
Oh yeah, you know what's next.
They just start spitting the talk to me. Oh, hey, you know what? Are you from BPS or, you know, you gangbang, whatever? I'm like, no, you know?
Yeah. They're gonna
hey, that's a nice car. Hey, that's a nice car. You got a gun in the car?
They're gonna automatically profile you.
Hold on, wait a minute, bro. You got a gun in the car?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, if that was my car, I'd have a gun in the car. This is literally what I will never forget that. If it was my car, I'd have a gun in the car. Yeah. And my homeboy was with me. It was just me and my homeboy. He was like, nah, he wouldn't, you know, he wouldn't have no, nah, he ain't got no gun. And I was like, no, I ain't got no gun in the car. Then one of the cops recognized me. It was like, hey, you that guy who's in that movie Baby Boy. I was like, yeah, that's me. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, they're gonna figure he's an actor. They're gonna let me go and stop all this harassing. No.
Right.
They continue. You mind if we search the car?
Right. So your first thing you're gonna hear out their mouth is, do you have any guns or drugs? Right?
They didn't even ask about drugs. They
do
asked
you
about
want my
guns.
license or my insurance or anything? Why?
First of all, you ain't even hit the siren.
Exactly.
You ain't even hit the siren. So then I'm like, the light turns green. So I'm like, can I go? And they were like, oh, what? You got something to hide? You in a hurry to get somewhere? And eventually they let us go, but it was like, dude, I went through all of that just because I'm black. Then you realize what profession I'm in, and you still continue to harass me.
Right.
Boy, you feel this shit, huh?
Yeah, I feel that shit. And I feel the pain from the shit we've been going through, this struggle, bro.
Man.
Like, for real. Now, this is one of those conversations we hate to have when we're a little blow, because we want everything to be happy-go-lucky and enjoy yourself and be all nice. But, man, fuck all that. We're tired of being nice, man. For real.
It is. I mean, I'm going to say this. I agree 100% with the protesting. When I was a kid, I was out protesting when they killed that black girl out in California. I think, was it Tamika? I was so young, but the Asian lady shot because the girl was trying to pay for her orange juice, and she thought the girl wasn't going to pay for it, thought she was going to steal the orange juice. And she
think
shot
I heard
her.
about. I remember
She
that,
shot
bro.
her,
Yeah, we were
and she
kids.
got off for 5 years probation.
That's crazy.
5 years
fucking
probation
nuts,
for
man.
cold-blooded murder, and we picketed that doggone store, and that store got shut down. That was over for that. But you murdered a kid. The girl wasn't but like 14, 15 years old. She was a kid. Over some orange juice, you gonna kill her?
That's freaking nuts.
Even if she was stealing it, you know what I'm saying? Really?
That's crazy, and the list goes on of horrible stories and replays of the same injustice. And I mean, what else is there for us to do? Where can we move?
And that's where we protest. But now this is a worldwide thing going on.
Yeah.
They protesting all over around the world. All around the world. That's why we had shot another episode. We couldn't even put that out there before we put this out there because of everything that's going on right now.
Shit, definitely.
I mean, it's like it's time to stand up, you know? It's time to do something for your people because they got to stop killing us. The world is saying they're killing us and we ain't even guilty.
We don't even have the same rights. As soon as we get pulled over, our rights are gone, relinquished, exit.
First question asked. I was watching a documentary and they were saying how and it was a police officer. When a black guy get pulled over, put your hands on the steering wheel, don't move or whatever. Put both hands on the steering wheel. And when they pull over a white person, then it's like the license and registration. When he said that, I was like, damn. Right, like a motherfucker. They're gonna do that first, then they decide if they're gonna ask you for your license and registration.
Yeah, they do whatever they want to do, man. I've seen several instances. Man, I got pulled over one day, man. Right in DeKalb County. White cop, and I don't see a lot of those in DeKalb County, but there's a couple of them out there. You know who you are when you pull me over, because at the time I had a Benz. I was young. I was it's probably happened 3.5, 4 years ago, maybe. I was on my lunch break. I had went to Crystal, because it was really close by my job at the time. Went and got me some wings or whatever from Crystal. Went back to where I'm about to get back on the exit. It's only one exit up from my job.
Right.
He pulls me over. I'm like, I know my insurance is good. I know everything on me is good. I ain't got no warrants or nothing. So he just basically pulls me over and says, hey, you got any drugs or guns in the car? Get out the car. He starts putting handcuffs on me, putting me in the back.
What?
Tells me I have a warrant for, what did he say? Larceny or something. Grand theft, larceny. So I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? I said, I have a legitimate job. I said, I know that's incorrect. You're going to have to rerun that. So I sat in the car. I saw a screen and everything, so I could see my name up there. He had like some little stuff on the computer, and then he was just sitting, and it was just sitting there. He said, well, I'm waiting on a call back there running. So I'm like, I'm really sitting here in this car.
And you're
I've given you my license,
right.
I've given you all my stuff, and you've pulled me over for you're harassing me in the back of your car with handcuffs on now. And I'm telling you, these handcuffs are hurting my hands, but you have no regard for my life. You don't care. So basically, you're going to tell me, okay, all right, you can get back in your car and you can go to work now. And you have no consequences for me being late to work. You had no consequences for anything that you did. You didn't feel that you did anything wrong. You got back in your car and you went on to harass the next person.
Abuse of power.
Definitely.
Abuse of power. That's
definitely.
Man. Man. That's some good weed, man. I told you, man. I told you some shit right here. Yeah. I'm sitting here like, man, I feel it. I call this Laker weed. It's purple. It was quite very much purple. Something in here. Mostly in here. See, it may look dark to you, but it's actually purple if you see it in person. I know it seems kind of sad, but at the same time, it's happening now. The world has gotten the attention of it, and it's happening, and we're gonna see some changes. Get out there, vote, do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. I'm telling you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's time for a change, man.
That's one way we can change things. You know what I'm saying? But we all still got to remember politics are politics.
Yeah.
And politicians are politicians. So, hey, you can depend on them, but you better depend on yourself at the end of the day. I'm gonna tell you, people, y'all better get y'all houses and shit ready and in order. Cause I noticed one thing. When that white boy at that last riot, remember, I think they were marching and something about the car. What was that, like Charlottesville, North Carolina? And what happened with that scenario? He ran the people over or something like that. And then before he turned himself in, he was like, we've been preparing for this for so long. Preparing for what? What the fuck are y'all preparing for?
Some type of race war.
Yeah, like what is that shit about?
They've been out there preparing. That's exactly what he said.
Look, my nigga, I'm gonna tell you, check the gun store. Shit's running out. Ammo's running out, my nigga. Keep your house safe, dog. You feel what I'm saying?
Wow.
Train your old lady how to use her weapon, my nigga. Know how to use your weapon. Protect yourself, brother.
Well, by any means necessary, says Malcolm X. And I think that's about what it's come to. I think it's so much bigger. There's been some violent protests, and I'm not for violent protests. I think what's happening is we're standing up, and the peaceful protest is just a crazy, wonderful thing, because it's like these folks are stepping out everywhere and saying we're not standing for this no more.
Exactly.
We're not having this. Black Lives Matter. And it's like, it's so sad we've been having to sing this same song so long. I mean, now that it's drawing the attention of the whole world, we're gonna see a change. We're going to have to, but these cops gotta pay. For real though. They gotta pay.
Exactly.
They gotta get them hard time. They gotta make them, get them some of them football numbers, okay?
Exactly.
That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Let them get the numbers, cause for real, they got to pay. I hear one of them out on bail.
Shouldn't even have a bill.
This is crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. Something's gotta be done.
Yeah.
Fuck it, man. You wanna shoot some pool?
We can, bro. That's
Man,
cool,
let's
man.
go shoot some pool, man.